Amber Heard is trying to argue is that her op-ed in the Washington Post was protected by the First Amendment. Therefore, it can't be defamatory.
Amber is trying to argue that her op-ed was protected by the First Amendment and therefore it can't be defamatory, but this is quite a stretch considering the fact that she was found guilty of defaming Johnny with intent of malice. Even if she claims to be bankrupt and thus unable to pay her judgment, Johnny has different way that can make her have to pay up and give up on her appeal. She and her attorneys had claimed they were appealing because she didn't have the cash to pay Johnny, which means it will also be hard for her to get funds for the appeal. And even if she did get funds, her low chance of winning the appeal should make her think about paying him rather than appealing. For his judgment money, he might decide to take her salary, but she is currently unemployed. He might want to sell her assets, which she currently doesn't have. Regardless of whether she has the means to pay or not, if Johnny will want to collect his judgment money, she would have to pay up. Whenever anyone claims an inability to pay a judgment, the prevailing party is entitled to broad discovery on that point, explained Duncan Levin, a former Manhattan federal prosecutor turned criminal defense lawyer who has previously represented Claire Bronfman. Here, that means that Depp, now that he has won, will be likely entitled to see financial records and even take depositions on her ability to pay. As former federal prosecutor Nima Rahmani told the Daily Beast, Heard does have some time to come up with the funds to pay her ex-husband she has accused of domestic violence. In Virginia, Depp has up to 30 years to collect his judgment. In case Amber files for bankruptcy, damages owed from a civil court ruling are not dischargeable through bankruptcy. In other words, you cannot use bankruptcy to make your civil court debt go away. She can declare bankruptcy, but she will still owe Johnny Depp $10 minus the $2 that should be owed by Johnny's lawyer, agent, or whatever he was, but falls to Johnny.
And these types of claims generally aren't dischargeable in bankruptcy. If you do an intentional act, something that's malicious, Chapter 7, 11, or 13 won't get rid of that debt. So her appeal is her best chance.
Filing for bankruptcy isn't going to help Amber at all. Legal analyst Emily D. Baker explains because this is an intentional tort. The willful element of defamation that had to be found because they're celebrities takes it out of the possibility of bankruptcy because it was a willful act. So it's an intentional tort, she says, defamation, and when it's against a public figure, that willfulness element, that malice element, takes it right out of the ability to be discharged in bankruptcy. There's also Heard's past charity pledges left hanging in the air. This is a huge red flag on whether or not she would be able to get an appeal. Back in 2016, the actress publicly announced she'd be donating all of her $7 million divorce settlement to charity, half to the American Civil Liberties Union and half to Children's Hospital Los Angeles. As Depp's team proved in court, the actress has yet to fulfill those pledges, which were scheduled to be paid in annual increments. In her testimony, Heard said she still fully intends on completing the donations. Johnny might decide not to take action against the judgment, but with all the defaming that is still going on from Amber's side, that's highly unlikely. He might actually ask for it just to teach her a lesson. A fan on Reddit said, "Knowing Johnny Depp the way I feel I know him, I have a feeling he would have dismissed the amount she owed him if she had gone quietly. Now she needs to be taught a lesson. She's so despicable." Another said, "I would be very disappointed if he didn't hold her accountable. She needs to have consequences for her actions." Also, she continues to smear his name. She's so pissed he's getting gigs, it's funny. Her jealousy is so tragic. Everyone, let's not forget that this video is based on theories and my opinions and should not be considered facts. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.